Well, g'day fishos. Fishing report time for Friday. Weather this weekend, we've got another southerly change coming through. It seems to just be the pattern. You get to a weekend, you get a southerly change, you get rain, you get wind, you get big seas. I'm going to fix my hat up there. And that's the weekends, and I think that's been for the last 8 weeks I've counted, except for about 2. But in saying that, Saturday not looking the best, Sunday looking a bit better. But hold on to your hats. Next week, if you've got a few sickies up your sleeve, then I'd be taking a few days off as of, say, around about Tuesday by the looks of things. It looks absolutely glamour next week. It's 20 plus degrees next week, 21 degrees on the forecast, but light winds. It just looks unreal. We're coming off the back of the full moon next week, so anything could happen. I'm excited, but I'll be working anyway, so what the hell. But anyway, let's see what's going on with the fishing around Port Stephens at the moment, gearing up for next week. So in the bay, the brim has certainly really started to chew hard at the moment. So down to the breakwall at Nelson Bay, it is standing room only now because you've got the Ludrick fishing happening, which is okay at the moment. They're still getting a few, but the brim has started to really hit their straps. And usually what we find is the brim will start to bite really good for the next 4 weeks or so. And then the Ludrick bite will really ramp up. So those that are interested in chasing the Ludrick. So plenty of brim down the breakwall. You will have seen a few photos on our social media, especially our Instagram page, in our stories there. Pete's been getting some absolute beauties, doing really well. Mixture of baits and soft plastics down along the breakwall. Tide change has been the key, he tells me, which is always the case down there. It's got to be that tide change, the lead up to the high tide or to the bottom of the tide. Young KO, well, he's been throwing some gold crabbies around, getting some absolute beauties well over 40 centimetres. So you've got the option land-based, which is going to be good this weekend because we're going to have the Sudleys. You've got the option of throwing either baits or soft plastics. Now, bait-wise, you can't beat a cube of brine pilchard. It works really well. Endeavour prawns work really well too, peeled, but the key is fish light. 6 to 8 pound fluorocarbon leader. A size 0 to 00 ball sinker straight to that top of that Shinto 10 bait keeper, and away you go, you're in luck. So tide changes are the key to that brim fishing. Other species down there's been a few salmon, a few tailor as well mixed in. If you're keen and you want to fish that nighttime, well, that lead up to dark tide, then you're in the chance with a mulloway because we are leading up to that full moon. And there are a few mulloway about at the moment. Plenty of bait down there, so we'll get the mulloway happening. That water's still a little bit tan and stained, so all the combination of some really good fishing, that is for sure. So, like I said, brim are doing well. There's still plenty of brim at the back of the bay as well, so if you're keen of getting the boat out there, I think Sunday will be better for that, the Sudleys. Around the rock walls there, you will get plenty of brim up that way as well. There will be the odd mulloway. It'd be definitely worth a shot fishing for mulloway on the incoming tide, especially around, obviously, the back of Middle Island and towards Fane Cove there. If you can get some live baits, away you go there, that is for sure. Now, moving further down in the bay, the Little Beach Wharf there, the Western Wharf, fishing really well for brim, Ludrick, the odd flatty there as well. And then Shoal Bay Wharf. There's been some good squid there, there's been tailor still there, and there's been Ludrick there as well. So that good old Shoal Bay Wharf, it's been a long, well, it's a newer wharf, but the old wharf, I tell you what, used to hold some good fish. I've seen kingies down there when I was a kid. So Shoaly Wharf doing pretty well. Now, if you head along to the point there towards Tomaree, the old torpedo tubes, there's been salmon and tailor there as well. So definitely worth a shot there. Now, on the beaches and rocks. Now, the rocks are still fishing really well. And after that swell, go out there and nail yourself a snapper. There are plenty of snapper off the rocks. I heard of a couple of boys getting some nice fish around that sort of 50 to 60 centimetre size. So good fish for off the rocks and getting busted away. So unweighted baits down in the wash. Get a bit of burley in the wash and away you go. So plenty of good reds in the washes. Drummer about as well. And lots of brim in the washes as well too. So Tomaree, still a couple of longtails around if you're keen on doing that. So longtails are hanging in there again this year, but I think it's that migratory pattern of those fish moving north at the moment. The bait's there, they'll feed, they'll stay. So that's the old rule, find the bait, find the fish. Speaking of rocks, I noticed that Rocky Point Road has, well, I should say the track into Rocky has been closed. Same too with the beach access into Samurai at the moment. So check with national parks to see if they're going to open those up. I have no idea why. I'm assuming it's degradation to the tracks, but look, at the end of the day, just open them up. We've got four-wheel drives, most of us. Or, just get in there. Allow us to fish. You can't lock us out, so to speak. So that's another story for another day. So on the beaches, like I said, Samurai can't access, but Fingal looks real good. Some really nice gutters at Fingal at the moment. There's a really nice gutter actually just straight out the front of the Caribbean Park on the high tide, and it is holding bream and a few salmon, likewise up towards the spit there as well. I think Ruby Beach is going to be a wipeout this weekend, unfortunately, because it has been fishing okay, although the swell hit it pretty hard this week, and I think it was closed as well. So the only beach to report on, well, Boxy, actually southern corner Boxy's been fishing all right too. So, and on the rocks there, plenty of tailor and salmon at the moment. So have a look at the rock situation. I think the swell will be okay this weekend. It won't be too big like what it was during the week. So give that a shot. Now, offshore skimpish reports, although I did have one good report from yesterday. Some really nice snapper out there at the moment. As you would imagine, after that big swell, some really good snapper in the shallow. So if you're keen on doing that, definitely worth a shot. No reports from out wide. No one's been out wide, unfortunately. But next week, get ready, because I think if you're keen to get out there for a few bar cod and things like that, definitely be worth a shot for a few barries out wide on the edge of the shelf. Haven't heard of any yellowfin. Haven't even looked at any charts because there hasn't been any point looking at charts at this point in time. So if you're keen to get out there next week, some really, really good snapper. We'll throw those photos up. I'll keep that a secret who caught those, but we'll throw those photos up on our socials today. Absolute cracking snapper caught down a Burley Trail. So keen on doing that, you might get out there Sunday, but I would wait till next week. And there's been a few illnesses going around. You never know. Fishing-itis. Give it a crack. We'll talk next week.